Tune in if that's a plug.
Also, sure, I just want to put in a simple plug for y'all.
Man, shout out to That's a Plug. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, and catch the wave while you can.
I started making beats in the 10th grade, so I was around 14 years old. I kind of stumbled across it looking at a video. Cause I'm real I'm a researcher, so one day I just came across a DVD where it had people rapping, making beats, recording songs, and the beat part really stuck out to me. So I did some more research. I started looking at beat making videos, just watched the process of people making beats, and I kind of fell in love with the process. How everything equaled one big song, and I already love music, so it was cool to see how that music was being made. So I just studied the game for a minute, just looked at a few of my idols making beats on the internet, and I just tried to mimic what they were doing. When I make music, I take all the emotions and put it into my songs. If I'm feeling mad, I make a song, get my frustrations off. If I'm feeling happy, I put that into a song, let people hear how I'm feeling. So music makes me feel. It makes me feel alive. The person that inspired me to make music, it's so much, because growing up, I remember my parents listening to oldies, so the old saying, you got an old soul. I really think I got an old soul because I get inspired by a lot of the, the old classics, like Delphonics, the groups like that, the older groups. I get inspired by the instruments they use, the way they arrange their songs, the lyrics, the way the song is mixed. And I try to incorporate those things into my music, but I get inspired by, anything. I call myself a musician, so I listen to everything to try to get inspiration. I might listen to some rock and roll, I might listen to, to some blues or some jazz or some Mozart. It doesn't matter. I'm inspired by anything that is creative, anything that, anything that people can feel, anything that you spend time on and put your all in. I'm inspired by it.
You play any instruments?
Actually, I don't. And when I first started making beats, I thought it would be kind of like a weakness that I didn't play any instruments, but I've noticed over the years that I'm real good at playing by ear. So for those who don't know what playing by ear means, it's pretty much when you can play the piano by just listening to something, but not necessarily knowing how to read music. So I noticed that I was good at playing by ear, so I kind of just took that and just, practice just hitting the keys, seeing what sounds good. But to answer your question, no, I don't play any instruments. I don't know how to read music, but I do consider myself a musician. I knew I wanted to make it a career by 12th grade. I started to notice that people were noticing me making beats. So I kind of just took that and said, okay, I'm actually pretty good at this. So I kind of took it a little more serious than just a hobby before. So I would say probably around 12th grade when people started coming up to me asking me for beats and telling me that my beats sounded good, because there was one point in time I didn't even think my beats were good. People didn't even believe that I made the beats, so that was kind of discouraging. So I'm like, if y'all don't believe I'm not making them, then I'm not going to make them. But 12th grade, I say, is when it picked up. People started liking my work. People started reaching out more. People started noticing what I was doing. So 12th grade, I decided that this is what I want to do for my life. I learned how to make beats when I was in school, so it was a lot of times where I might not have done my homework, or I might not have been focused just because I was thinking about the beat I made last night before I went to sleep. So there's a lot of obstacles. One obstacle was I was heavy into making beats for my first year, first 2 years. My computer crashed. I lost everything I made. That was a big obstacle because I had to make a decision. Do I want to start over, or do I just want to, just give up? And for a while I gave up, but people were still asking me about my music, and that's the only thing that kept me going, because they're like, oh, what's up with the music? What's up with the music? What's up with the music? So I'm like, y'all must really, like what I'm doing. So that's the only reason I came back, is because people noticed and people actually made me feel like that I was good at it. So if it wasn't for the people, if it wasn't for people at my school, people in my family, just motivating me, I think I would have gave up a long time ago. I'm glad I made the decision to just keep going, because, music is timeless. You can make a song and lose it, but you know, you still put that energy out there. You can always make another song. It ain't about what you lost. It's about, you know, what you can gain. So, you know, and it was a couple times where because, you know, we work with technology, so anything can go wrong. This is a lesson for all you producers. Back up your stuff. Back up your computer, back up the backup, and back up the backup to the backup. You gotta back up everything, because it's a bad feeling when you lose all your stuff. It's like losing a child. It's in me. Because when I'm not doing it, I'm thinking about it. So for those couple years that I wasn't doing it, I was still thinking about it. You know, as I'm thinking about it, people asking me, yo, what's up with your music? And just by people asking me what's up with my music, it's motivating, because it's like, oh, you actually care. You know, back then I didn't think people cared, but you asked me what's up with my music, so it's almost like you care. So I guess I got to do it just to show you that I'm not a quitter. You know, so those are the things that got me back. You know, people just staying on me, asking me what's up with the music. You know, perfect your craft. Don't be too cool for school, because, like I said, I've been doing this since I was 15, since 2005, I believe. And I've been doing it for a long time, but just because I've been doing it for a long time, you know, it's easy to feel like you know, it's easy when you're doing something wrong, you know, it's easy. So I would say, just because you feel like you know what you're doing, there's always more to learn. Like, I never thought I would be in school because I thought I knew it all already. You know, so my advice is go to school, you know, perfect your craft, do everything you can to perfect your craft. 10,000 hours perfects any craft. If you say you love doing it, do it every day. You know, another thing I go by is psychotic consistency. Like, you got to do it so much people think you crazy. You know, do it every single day, no breaks. You know, I work a full-time job, and I do this full-time. Like, no excuses. People live hard lives every day, but if you want it bad enough, you're gonna find a way to get it. So that's my advice. Perfect your craft. Go to school. School will not hurt you. Go to school. Invest in your craft. That's another thing. Invest. Spend money on yourself. Nobody's gonna take you serious if, you know, you're not investing in yourself. Like, get equipment for yourself. When I say invest in yourself, that's school, that's buying equipment, that's taking classes, that's you know, things that you're paying for to better your, you know, yourself and your career. That's my best advice I can give you. Invest in yourself and go to school. Trust me on that. Shout out to That's a Plug, holding me down. That's a plug, baby. Right now, top 3. That's tough. Say my top 3 right now would be, I'm going off lyricism. I would say Kendrick Lamar, most definitely. He inspires me by his lyrics. I like Future's work ethic. You know, I think people might not agree with what he's talking about, but he works very hard. It's proven. You know, I also like, who else? There's so much. I get lost in my thoughts by thinking about, you know, who inspires me. I'm inspired by the ASAP Mob. I don't know, you know, whoever's familiar with ASAP Mob. I'm inspired by them, just how they stick together as a unit. You know, like they move as one. There's no one in that group bigger than the other one, and I think that's how people have to move if they want to be successful. Like, no man can be above any other man, especially when you're working with a collective of people. You got to stick together and, you know, take that ride together. You know, no man left behind. So I appreciate what ASAP Mob is doing as far as sticking together. That's a plug. Oh, that's all to do. That's a plug.
Tune in to That's a Plug every day, all day.
I want to end out with saying shout out to That's a Plug. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, and catch the wave while you can.
My man.